All right, so we are going to do systems of equations applications. And this is where you're going to see these the most as you continue on in math and science classes. And you're going to see this in science as well. So what you're going to do here is you're going to be reading something. You're going to define your two variables. Okay, so you're going to tell me what they are. You're going to write a system for each one. You're going to solve. And then you have to go back and answer the question. Okay, so if I look at this first one, it says the sum of two numbers is 30. And then it says their difference is 12. Okay, so I'm going to make my two numbers, I'm just going to use a number sign. That's a number sign, not a hashtag, but whatever. The second number. Okay, so first number, second number. All right, so the sum of the two numbers is 30. So I'm going to go like this and say, okay, you add them, you get 30. The difference of the two numbers is 12. So if when I subtract them, I get 12. Okay, so now when you look at these problems, you can decide whether you want to do substitution or elimination, because I don't care. But when I look at these and I see a plus y and a y minus y, I know they'll cancel. So I just personally go, okay, 42. Divide by 2, and my first number is 21. Okay, and then I'm going to put that 21 back up into either. So if I put it right there, I would have 21 plus y equals 30. I would minus 21, and my answer is 9. So those are my two numbers. I would like you to pause the video, and I would like you to do question 2. Pause, try it. Okay, so the sum of two numbers is 24. So x plus y equals 24. Their difference is 2. X minus y equals 2. So I noticed that. So I'd have 2x equals 26. Divide by 2. X equals 13. Plug that back in. 13 plus y equals 24. Minus 13 from both sides. And my answer is 11. So one of my numbers is 13, one of my numbers is 11. Okay. All right, so I want to look at number 3, and just because it is a little bit different. So it says the difference between two numbers is 9. So the difference between two numbers is 9. Okay, now here is where this gets different. The first number plus twice the other number. So twice you're going to write 2y equals 27. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. It doesn't really matter how you do the problem, but I could add y, and I get x equals y plus 9. I'm going to put that in for x. And I'm going to do substitution. Y plus 9 plus 2y equals 27. I don't care if you do substitution or elimination. 3y plus 9 equals 27. Subtract the 9. 3y equals, I can't do math right now, 18. Divide by 3. And my second number is 6. So if I put that back into this equation, 6 plus 9, my first number is 15. Okay. All right, I would like you to pause the video, and I would like you just to do question 4. All right, on question 4, the sum of two numbers is 36. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Okay, and then I have twice the first number. Twice the first number minus the second is 6. Okay, now I go back to that where I see the y's are the same and the signs, so I can just cross off. To me, it just makes sense, but it might not to you, so it doesn't matter to me how you did the problem. Okay, so 42, x equals 14. I'm going to put that 14 back up into here. 14 plus y equals 36. And it doesn't matter which one you put it back into, like we've been talking about. And so my answer is 22. Okay. All right. we're going to skip number 5 because it's kind of like the same thing over and over again, and I don't think we need to do that. But number 6 is a little bit different, so I do want to stop and talk about it. The sum of two numbers is 25. Okay, this is where this gets really confusing, so I want you to read this. One number is twice the second number plus 7. Okay, the word is in math or in any like applications problem, is means equals. It is equals. So one number, so the first number is twice the second plus 7. Okay, I would not do elimination on that. This is crazy. It's already solved for x. All you have to do is plug it into that equation. Like terms, subtract the 7, subtract the 7. Divide by 3, y equals 6. So your second number is 6, put 6 back in there. That's 12 plus 7. So my second number is 19. So when you see the word is, that's really important. That's an equal sign. So you're going to equal those numbers. All right, so I just wanted to kind of touch base on that one because that was a little bit different. Let's take a look at number 7. Number 7 now is another type of problem where it's not sums and differences, but it says, I'm just going to kind of highlight this. You have 3 boxes of envelopes, right? And you have 4 boxes of notebooks, paper, and they equal 1325. Is. There's that word I was saying. Watch out for. The word is. They equal 1325. So let's say the boxes of envelopes were $10. If I bought 3 of them, wouldn't that be $30? Because 3 times 10 is 30. So aren't I going to take how many boxes times the cost? So what I'm going to do is write my variable. So X is going to be the cost of envelopes. Oops. And Y is going to be the cost of notebooks. Because if like I said, if it's $10 and you bought 3, you would multiply those. So I'm going to take, for my first equation, I'm going to take 3x plus 4y, whatever they cost, I'm going to multiply it. I bought 4 of them, so I'm going to multiply it by 4. And when I add that together, it's 1325. Okay, on the second one, I have 2 boxes of envelopes, so that's 2 X's. I have 6 notebook paper, and then that cost me 17. So I bought different amounts, but I don't know how much they cost. Okay, so what I'm going to do is write that equation. That would be 2x plus 6y equals 17. Now, because you have decimals, I personally think it's easier to do these by elimination. So, because if you start solving, you're going to get weird old fractions and it's going to take you forever. So this is really, truly an elimination problem. Okay, I can make my x's, I'm just going to write this above. I could make my x's 6. I could make my y's 12. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with the 6. So I'm going to multiply this top one all by 2. So I get 6x plus 8y, and I opened up my calculator. I actually made this video and had to delete it because I was being stubborn and I wasn't using my calculator, and I was using my phone and it was doing weird things. It was probably me doing weird things with the calculator, I guess. Times 2, 1325 times 2 is 26.5. Okay, now the bottom one, I'm going to times all by a -3 because I want it to be a -6, so they cancel. So that's a -6x minus 18y equals 17 times a -3 is a -51. Now my x's cancel. I get a -10y, and I have a -51 plus 26.5. And my answer is a -24.5. So I'm going to divide by a -10, divide by a -10, and my answer is y equals 2.45. So that means the notebooks cost you $2.45 a piece. That's how much they were. They were $2.45 a piece. So now I'm going to take that 2.45 and I'm going to put it back into either equation. So I am going to put it into the first one, and you're putting it in for y. So 3x times 4 times 2.45 is 9.8. So that's plus 9.8 equals 13.25. Should have put it in the other one, then I wouldn't have decimals. 13.25 minus 9.8 is 3.45. So I'm going to divide by 3, and it's $1.15. So that means envelopes cost $1.15 a piece. Okay? All right. What I would like you to do is I would like you to pause the video and I would like you to try number 8. Pause the video, try number 8. Okay, so 12 oranges. So X is going to be my oranges and Y is going to be my apples. And this just helps me. I would write that down because on these problems, on the sum and difference, it didn't really matter. But on these problems, sometimes you lose, like, was this apples or was this oranges? And if you just have it written, it's easier. So 12x plus 7y equals 536. Okay, and then I have 8 oranges, and that's x. 8x plus 5y equals 368. Okay, so 12, let's see, 12, 24. 8 goes into 24. So I could make my x's 24s, or I can make my y's 35s. And it really doesn't matter, so I'm going to go with the 24s because 24 is smaller. So I'm going to times these all by 2. So that's 24x plus 14y equals 536 times 2. I don't know what that is. 536 times 2 is 1072. And then I'm going to times these all by a -3 because I want a -24, so they cancel. Minus 15y equals 368 times a -3 is a -1104. Okay, so those cancel and I get a -1y. So if I do 1072 minus 1104, I get a -0.32. Divide by a -1, divide by a -1, and y is 32. Okay, now I'm going to go back here. That means the apples are 32 cents. Okay, and so that's the reason why I would strongly suggest writing what your x and your y are, because I would have forgotten by the time I got to that answer if I didn't have it written. Okay, so now I'm going to take that 32 cents and put it back in anywhere. So I'm going to put it there. So 5 times 32 is 1.6. So then I'm going to minus 1.6 to the other side. And I get 2.08. And so I'm going to divide by 8. And I get 26. So x equals 0.26. So apples are 26 cents. Okay, so 26 cents and 32 cents. Okay. All right, I would like you to pause the video. We're not going to do 9. I would like you to pause the video and I would like you to do 10. Okay, sale for winter clothing. Cody bought 2 pairs of gloves and 4 hats. So I'm going to make X gloves and I'm going to make Y hats because you're looking at 2 different things. So 2 gloves and 4 hats cost $43, and 2 gloves and 2 hats cost $30. Now, if you look at this, my X's are the same. I am going to just go change the signs on one of these, and this will not be as bad as it looks. So I end up getting 2y equals 13, divide by 2, and y equals 6.5. So hats cost $6.50. Okay, so now I'm going to put that back up into any equation. So I'm going to put it back into there. I'm going to do it just with the green, not with the negatives. So I'd have 2x plus 2 times 6.5 is 13. So here I'm going to minus 13. Divide by 2. And x equals 8.5. So gloves cost 8.5. So hopefully that is what you got for the answer. If you did, you got it. If you didn't, let me know and we'll do more examples like it. All right, we are going to look at 11, not because I'm wasting your time, but because 11 is different and 11 is a tricky question. Once you figure it out, like, you're going to be like, shut up, these are easy now. Okay, but these are tricky because, let me just show you. A garden supply store sells 2 types of mowers. The smaller mower, so I have 2 types, small. The smaller mower is $249.99. The larger mower is $329.99. Okay, so I have something about cost. And now here I know that if a total of 30 mowers, that's weird, I covered up the 30 and then I'll probably mess it up, were sold and the total sales was 8,379.7, how many mowers of each type were sold? Okay, this problem, actually, if you notice, and I use different colors on purpose, this problem has 2 things it's looking at, cost and total mowers. So a mower is a mower. If I bought 12 small, I know they have to add up to 30, so this has to be 18. If I bought 10 small, I know it has to be 20 because it has to add up to 30. So these 2 things, this is where this is like a trick question because kids, they try to make up an equation. This is just saying those 2 numbers have to add together to be 30. That's what that total mowers is. Now the other equation has the decimals. So it's 249.99 plus 329.99, and that equals 8379.7. Okay, I am not doing this one by elimination. No way, because that first equation, I could minus the x, and I get y equals 30 minus x, and I'm going to take that and plug it in right there. So 249.99x plus 329.99 parentheses 30 minus x equals 8379.70. Okay, so I'm going to go to my calculator because I don't know what 329.99 times 30. Okay, so I have 249.99x plus 9899.7 minus 329.99x equals 8379.7. These get very kind of complicated. If I put those 2 together, let's see. So I'd have, those are on the same side, 249.99 minus 329.99. My answer is a negative 80. And then if I move this to the other side, so I'd have 8379.7 minus 9899.7. And I get 80x equals a negative 1570. Divide by a negative 80. What did I do? 83. Oh, hold on. It's not 1570. I'm stupid. I pushed 8379. 8379. It's 1520. Then divide by a negative 80. Divided by a negative 80 ends up being 19. Sorry, I just miswrote a number there. So my answer is 19 small ones. Oops. So I know that I had 19 small mowers. Okay, so if I put that in there, 30 minus 19 is 11 large ones. Okay. All right, so right now, I would like you to pause the video, and there are going to be 2 questions just like the one we did where you have like an x plus y. Okay, so it's like a total thing. So I would like you to do the next 2 questions, and I'm going to work one of them, and then on the other one, I'm just going to put the answers up. And if we need to go back, we can. Pause, and at least do 12. Pause. All right, so the town recreation ordered 100 baseballs and and bats for the summer. 100 baseballs and bats. Sorry, that goes together. So there's a total of 100. So I don't know how many of each, but I know there's 100. Baseballs, so this is about money now. Baseballs cost $4.50, bats cost $20. The total purchase cost $8.22. So I'm going to go ahead and make X my baseballs, and it doesn't really matter which one you did. If you did it the other way, you're still going to get this right answer, and Y the bats. Together, I know those are 100. Okay? And so then here, I'm going to do my baseball cost $4.50. My bats cost $20. Together, that's $8.22. So again, I am not doing this by elimination. I'm just going to minus the X, and I get Y equals 100 minus X. I'm putting that in for Y. So 4.550X plus 20 times 100 minus X equals 822. So 4.5X plus 2,000 minus 20X equals 822. So I'm just going to move over to the side here since I'm running out of room. These are like terms. 20 minus 4.5 I think is 15.5, but I did this one earlier and I messed it up. So is this where I messed up? Nope. So negative 15.5x. I'm going to minus the 2,000 to the other side. And so I'd have 822 minus 2,000. And I get a negative 1178. So divide by negative 15.5. And I get X equals 76. So there are 76 baseballs. So then I'm going to do 100 minus 76. And there are 24 bats. That's how much they ordered. Okay, on the next one, I'm going to go ahead and write the answers. And if you have it wrong and you can't figure out where you messed up, then just text me and I'll make a video for number 14. Just say, I couldn't figure out number 14 on the notes on page 11. If you give me that, I'll have it. So the answers were 321 adults and it was 227 kids. Okay. All right. So I do want to jump now because number 17. Number 17, they like to do these questions on ACT tests. Okay. So they love to give nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies questions because you have to kind of know something to be able to figure them out. And so it's kind of unfair. So she has a collection of nickels and quarters. So I'm going to make X my nickels and I'm going to make Y my quarters. Okay. For a value of 490. So that's a value. Then we know she has 42 coins. How many of each kind are there? So on the value, we know a nickel is worth 5 cents and we know a quarter is worth 25 cents. Together, that's 490. Okay? So that's my total question, my total equation. Now the other equation is just 42 coins. So we know together the number of coins that I have has to be 42. So it goes back to that whole X plus Y thing. Okay, I'm going to minus the X and get Y equals 42 minus X. And I'm going to plug that in for Y. So 0.05X plus 0.25 times 42 minus X equals 490. Okay, so I'm going to multiply. Sorry, I'm downstairs by our washing room because it's where the desk is at. 0.25 times 42 is 10.5 minus 0.25x equals 490. So I'm going to put my like terms together. I'm going to kind of just move over here to the side. Put my like terms together. It's a negative 0.2x. And then I'm going to minus 10.5. So I get 490 minus 10.5. And I get a negative 5.6. So divide by negative 0.2. Should stop soon. And X equals 28. So now I know that's nickels because it says X. So then if I put that back into this equation right there, 42 minus 28, I think is 14. 14 quarters. Okay. All right. So I would like you to do number 18 and 19. Pause the video. On 18, I'm just going to write the answers. And on 19, I'm going to work the problem. Because 19 is just a little bit different. 18 is kind of like the one we just did. So 18 and 19, please. All right, so on 18, just so you have your answer, it was 17 nickels and it was 8 dimes. And if you didn't get that, maybe look at your math and see if you made a little mistake. And if you did get it, good job. If you are confused, just text me and say, I need page 12 notes, number 18. You wrote the answer, but I didn't get it. Okay, I would like to do 19 because it is a little different. And ACT test, you'll take that in high school. I've seen this on so many ACT tests, this question, that I just wanted to make sure we go over it. Your math teacher tells you that the next test is worth 100 points and contains 38 problems. Okay, so one of my equations is going to do with points and one of my equations is going to do with problems. Okay, multiple choice tests are worth 2 points. So I'm going to use purple because that's a point. And word problems are worth 5 points. I'm going to use purple because that's a point. Those are all points. How many questions are there on the test? Okay, of each type. Well, I know there's 38 questions, so I'm going to make X my multiple choice. I'm going to make Y my word problems. Okay, so I know total there are 38 total problems. So I have that equation. Okay, now I'm going to write one for the point total. I know multiple choice are worth 2. So if you get 5 multiple choice right, you get 10 points because they're worth 2. And I know that the word problems are worth 5. So if you get 5 word problems right, that's worth 25. So that's how many points it is. Okay, again, I'm going to do this one by elimination. So I'm going to minus the x, and I get y equals 38 minus x. That goes in for y. So I'd have 2x plus 5 times 38 minus x equals 100. Okay, so I don't know what 38 times 5 is, like 190 maybe. Yeah, look at me doing math. 2x plus 190 minus 5x equals 100. These are like terms. You get a negative 3x minus 190, and you get a negative 90. Divide by a negative 3. And there are 30 multiple choice questions. So it has to add up to 38. So that means there are 8 word problems. Okay, so these are our application questions.